just for you. So come along and take my hand.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Countdown to Icon live streams. Icon of the Seas is just a few short days away from setting sail on its maiden voyage from Miami, Florida. Until then, we're going to be talking about everything about the Icon of the Seas, from the latest news to the stuff there is to do on board the ship, and everything in between. For more live streams just like this, please make sure to subscribe to the Best of Both Worlds. But for now, enjoy the show. One. Hello everybody and welcome to another Countdown to Icon live stream. Today is Friday December 15th. So anyway guys, so we hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am being joined by my good friend Tyler from the Cruise Junkie. Alright, so good evening, Tyler. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hello. Can you hear me, Nathan? How are everyone doing tonight? I'm excited to be here with my good friend Nathan as we discuss the countdown to one of the world's newest cruise ships, Icon of the Seas, today. This is one of the mega ships, and it is going to be sailing here in 43 days. Nathan, what are you looking forward to the most with our countdown tonight?
I'm definitely looking forward to hold on, we're having give me a second. There we go. Alright. So one of the things I'm looking forward to with Icon, it's just a new ship class. We haven't got one from Royal Caribbean in a while, so it's definitely going to be fresh and brand new. Because, like I said, the last time we got a new class of ship was 2014, so actually 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah, the Oasis class was the last class of ships that Royal Caribbean came out with. Well, not the last one, I should say. Quantum class, of course, came out, or Project, but not Discovery. That's coming out soon. Project Discovery, right after Icon here, right? But yeah, Quantum class was the last class of ship by Royal Caribbean here. Of course, Oasis was on the tail of the Freedom class with the Royal Caribbean fleet here. So yeah, it's been a while. Absolutely, since Royal Caribbean has come out with another ship here. And this one is going to be iconic, to say the least. Don't you agree there, Nathan?
I definitely agree. And just like you were saying, so Royal Caribbean has been teasing this new class of ship called the Discovery class. So Royal Caribbean is saying that this is going to replace not the Voyager, the Vision and Radiance class ships. Now we will see how this new class of ship goes. They may change it up a little bit, because if you guys don't remember, when Royal Caribbean ordered Icon of the Seas, they said that it was going to be bigger than the Quantum class, but smaller than the Oasis class. And then here we are, world's biggest cruise ship. So we're definitely going to see how that works out. And if you guys did watch my other Mariner of the Seas, the newest one I put out a couple weeks ago, you guys will know that Royal Caribbean also is not going to be leaving the port of Baltimore, Tampa, Jacksonville, whatever, etc. Because as we all know, John
Yep.
Hill from Carnival announced that Carnival isn't building any small ships anytime soon. So,
Yep. I think Project Discovery, again, this is not the topic for today's show, of course, is to be the icon of the seas, but I'm going to touch on it quickly here. Of course, if you want to hear more from me and my friends here of colleagues here at Port Canaveral, Florida, as you can see with the background behind me, we're here streaming live from Port Canaveral, Florida. So one of the things is we have the Cruising is Life podcast. Go ahead, check it out. We are going to talk about that in the following weeks. I'll be on the show where we discuss the Project Discovery. It's going to be very interesting, a brand new class of ships. But yeah, as I mentioned here, before we can kind of wrap up the Project Discovery here, this class of ship will be kind of like in between what I've been told, the Voyager and the Radiance class. What they're going to try to do is try to make it to the maximum what they can for these Discovery style ports, whether that more, etc. here. Because, of course, the problem is when they build these ships, they have to be a certain height. With Project Discovery, for example, with their ship, you should have to be a little tight. You can't have like these absolute mega ships with like Icon of the Seas, for example, that's like 20 decks high because the bridges. So they have to make it very limited with the deck. Also have to be limited with the length. So it's kind of a very tight balance here. We'll be interested to see what they come up with, Nathan. But let's get back on topic here, Nathan. Icon of the Seas, 43 days from now. Where is she currently located?
so currently, right now, Icon of the Seas is currently in Cadiz, Spain. So let me pull it up real quick. As you can see, the countdown: 42 days, 22 hours, and 33 minutes and 58 seconds. Once again, this is all for its maiden voyage, which will be in a couple of weeks. Actually, next month, which is pretty hard to say. So it's pretty hard to think about. So let me pull it up. Alright guys, so
Yeah.
so right now Tyler's webcam is not gonna show up just because, or it might, I don't know. There we go. Alright.
Have to wait and see. We're doing this live, folks. So if you see these, like, the webcam glitching out, see Nathan's like Discord server, we're all doing this live here, folks. So this is no fancy editing, no fancy anything. We're doing this live here. So again, if there's any technical difficulties that do happen, we do apologize. But again, that is nothing in our control here.
So right now, Icon of the Seas is in Cadiz, Spain. Now you're probably wondering, why is Icon of the Seas in Cadiz, Spain? I thought it was already built. Well, Icon of the Seas
That's
is
a good
just
question.
Icon of the Seas is just getting some cosmetic issues fixed. Some issues that the shipyard couldn't get corrected. So, yes, you are correct. Yep. The shipyard is finished. The shipyard has done all the work that needs to be done on the ship. And now it's in Royal Caribbean's hands. And it should be in dry dock for at least another week. So as you can see,
yeah, it should be out of dry dock here shortly. Yeah.
And then we're going to react to some photos and videos in just a few moments. But one
more thing before we finish the. I would say one more thing before we finish the talk about dry docks. Well, a lot of folks are reason why is it in dry dock, and people see the photos of it out of the water. They think something with the failed sea trials, whatever. No, that's not the case. The simple fact is, where the Milo Turku shipyard is in Finland, there's ice, there's cold weather, right? You can't necessarily deck out Central Park with all of its livery and all of its greenery that's needed for Central Park in freezing temperatures while the ship's going to be in the Caribbean. So they need to use it for that space. Another thing with the pool deck, too. You can't really fill up a pool. You can't really put out all these deck chairs for the warm weather while you're not in that warm weather. So that's really the reasons why they are in Cadiz, Spain, is to do those things that they need with the warm weather, right? Because you can't. Icon is it's not necessarily totally like a cold weather ship, a warm weather ship, I should say. There are some elements like the AquaDome, which we'll get to in a minute, that is a little warm, colder weather designed. But for the most part, a majority, almost like 90% of the ship, it is indeed warm weather. So you need that warm weather in order to put in the livery, get the water slides ready, test and all that stuff. You can't do it while it's like 0 degrees outside.
Yes, so, and I actually have it pulled up right now so you guys can't see it. But currently, the weather, or the temperature in Turku, Finland, is 27 degrees Fahrenheit with a feels like temperature of 25 degrees. And in fact, there is a moderate snow warning. So you can see why Royal Caribbean would want to wait to put the plants in for Central Park. Because if you put the plants in too early, then the plants are going to die before the ship even reaches Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. Another reason too is you can't test water slides while the water is frozen, right? Water freezes pretty close, so you got to be careful about the water there. So yeah, you can't test water slides with freezing water, right? So anyway, good deal here. So yeah, we're gonna react, as Nathan said earlier, reacting to some photos and videos of Icon. First looks here while she courses in Cadiz, Spain. Nathan, take it away.
All right, so this week has definitely been interesting in terms of Icon. So there have been some videos and photos leaked while the ship was in construction at Tokyo, Finland, but it was mostly just scaffolding. Everything was covered. You couldn't really tell what stuff is. But now, as the ship has finished construction and now it's in a little dry dock period, a lot of videos and photos are emerging from crew members. As last week, we saw a video of the ship sail underneath the bridge in Denmark, which is really interesting. But anyway, so we are going to react to the first photo, which is of the Royal Promenade. So as you can see, over there is Sorrento's a favorite among Royal Caribbean guests. And as you can
Oh
see,
yes, of
there
course.
is the Christmas tree. Now, even though guests won't be able to see the Christmas tree until next year, the crew are definitely getting in the holiday spirit on board Icon.
Absolutely, that's awesome to see. It's amazing. Royal Promenade is the focal point of a Royal Caribbean ship. If you haven't been on one, well, besides the Vision and the Radiance class, of course, but all the other classes of ship, it is a centerpiece. It is the focal point of any Royal Caribbean ship, modern one at that. And it's awesome to see. Sorrentos, of course, that's a must. Almost every ship that has a Royal Promenade has a Sorrentos. And even ships that don't have a Royal Promenade. Some of them did have Sorrentos, like Majesty, but she's gone, unfortunately. But yeah, Sorrentos is a must. Great place on your cruise. If you haven't sailed Royal Caribbean yet, you're missing out. Some of the best pizza at sea. It isn't like a go out of your way, pay $20 for the pizza, but it's a good complimentary free pizza. I think you can agree about that, Nathan. It's not like wow, but it gets the job done.
So just about every single Royal Caribbean ship has it, except for Vision, Radiance, and the Voyager class, which surprisingly does not. Now,
Yes, that's true.
Voyager class does have free pizza, but it's at Cafe Promenade, so it's
Yep.
combined into one eatery instead of one separate. So as you can see, there is Sorrento's, and we're going to see more of the Royal Promenade in just a few moments. And then, as you can see, a beautiful backdrop of Italian style buildings, which is what Sorrentino's is about. Italian pizza.
That's right, Sorrento's, some of the best out there. Can't go wrong there. It's absolutely great. Love the Sorrento's experience here on Royal Caribbean. It is always a must. Every cruise you go on, always make sure to hit up at least one day during the cruise, whether that's for a snack, a meal, whatever it is. It's always great. Can't go wrong there. And of course, on Icon, I can imagine it's going to be even more iconic of a staple of food.
Alright, so now we are going to go to the second photo. We covered this a few moments ago. It is the Central Promenade, so I'm sorry for the little blurry image, but it's pretty easy to tell what it is. So as we can see,
Yeah.
the majority of the plants and the live walls are in. As you can see, there is the Central Park infinite balconies and some little bit of scaffolding still inside the Central Park, as once again the ship is in dry dock right now. So anyway, Tyler, so take it away.
Yeah, so the Central Park is going to be absolutely amazing on the beautiful Icon of the season. So I was just on Allure of the Seas twice in the past month. Really fortunate to be able to do that, right? So I really love the Central Park on the Oasis class. And the Icon, they're making it even better. They're making it twice the size, adding twice as much greenery, which if you already been on the Oasis class, there's a ton of greenery. So they're adding more than that, right? And the other thing, too, is on the Icon of the Seas, which I love, is they're moving Izumi, like one of the most famous specialty restaurants on a Royal Caribbean ship with hibachi. They're moving it to Central Park and adding more tables. This is going to be great because it's one of the things that I love personally about the Central Park on the Allure of the Seas and like any other Oasis class ships here. If you go on any other Royal Caribbean ships, Mariner of the Seas, Freedom of the Seas, the Chops Grill and all those other specialty restaurants are not exactly in the best location, to be truth be told. Well, the Izumi usually is on like a Mariner or something, but the Chops Grill, Giovanni's, or Jamie's Italian, they're located in the Windjammer Marketplace. So it's not exactly the best location, but on the Oasis class, Chops Grill, Giovanni's, or Jamie's, depending which ship you go on, that is located in the Central Park. And that is a perfect spot because, again, it is a specialty restaurant, sensitive specialty, meaning you kind of want that more, upscale environment. And that is the perfect area, Central Park. You got the bird sound effects, you got just really calm and peaceful and tranquil area. Even at night, it's really, really relaxing of an area. It's just something if you want to take a moment away from all the craziness of like Thrill Island and you want a place to just sit back and relax, you can do that at Central Park.
So if you look at the right hand side of your screen, you'll see that the neon looking lights with the glass. So you're probably wondering, what is that? Well, that is the Royal Promenade. So you'll be able to look into the Royal Promenade from Central Park. Now, one of the things that is absent on Icon of the Seas that the Oasis class ships have is the Rising Tide Bar. So basically, if you
Yes.
don't know what the Rising Tide Bar is, so basically it's a bar, and I think every hour or so, they close the gate, it rises
Something
up
like
to
that, yes.
Central Park, and then you can get off at Central Park, stay on, or go down back to the Royal Promenade. So this is not on Icon. In place of that is the Pearl, which is the big sphere-like thing Royal Caribbean has been kind of promoting. So that's what is going in
Yep.
its place. So anyway, that's it. That's all we have to cover. So anyway, we're actually going before we do watch the video. Actually, no, we're just going to watch the video right now. And let me pull it up. So we're going to watch the video right now. And so, and just to let you guys know, we won't be on the screen, but we will give some commentary every now and then. So anyway, let's head to the video. So this video talks about the icon of the seas. So as you can see, the icon of the seas is currently in dry dock in Cadiz, Spain. So as you can see, that is just some of the outside of the ship. And then there's actually the two-story lifeboats.
Yeah, so Icon of the Seas here, it is in dry dock in Cadiz, Spain. There's a lot going on in the dry dock facility.
So it's actually talk about this real quick. So as you can see, there is the Royal Promenade. As you can see, Boleros making a return. So we're actually, I believe, we're looking at the other end of the Royal Promenade, because over there is the giant Christmas tree, and then there's the Pearl.
Yeah, I think that is exactly it. Royal Promenade, of course, iconic on Royal Caribbean ships, so this is super neat to see inside of this.
So anyway, so we're going to keep on with the video. Now as you can see, there is the schooner bar. Basically on every single Royal Caribbean class ship. So as you can see, right, oh shoot, did not want to do that. Right in here is the Pearl. So this is what the inside of the Pearl looks like with all those fiber optic panels that are supposed to change colors. So as you can see, more scaffolding in the back once again as the ship is still in dry dock. So here's the Pearl Cafe. This is a artist rendering. And as you can see, this is what it looks like in real life. Once again, a bunch of scaffolding as the ship is currently being dry docked.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful looking here. The Pearl Cafe, I love it. I love the idea. It's absolutely great.
So anyway, we're going to keep on going. So anyway, so this is just some panoramic shots of the Royal Promenade. And as you can see, I believe this is Sereno's. If I'm no, sorry, it's not Sereno's. Yep. So over here is Sorrento's. The free
It's either
pizza.
Sorrento's or Giovanni's. Yeah, Giovanni's. I think it's Giovanni's.
Yeah. So over here, this is a So we're just gonna stop the video and talk about this real quick. So this is the dueling piano bar.
No, this is a brand new concept. The dueling pianos right here. Yeah.
Yep. So this is a brand. So that's a brand new concept for Royal Caribbean.
Yeah,
This is the
absolutely.
first time they've had something like this on their ships. So as you can see, it definitely looks very, very nice and going to be a fantastic spot to hang out.
What I wonder, Nathan, this is something I wonder here. Is this going to replace the live piano in the schooner bars, or is there going to be a piano player in the schooner bar? Because I believe there is a schooner bar on the ship, but is this going to replace that? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Now here is something. Now here is the AquaDome. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so this is the AquaDome. So this is replacing, well, semi-replacing the Aqua Theater on board the Oasis class ship. So as you guys know, the Oasis class ships, every single ship has a Aqua Theater located on the back of the ship. So it's a open air theater where they do a bunch of crazy acrobatics into a 17-foot deep pool. The biggest pool, or sorry, not the biggest, the deepest pool at sea. So basically, Royal Caribbean took this concept, put it on a higher deck, and covered it. So anyway, so Tyler, do you have anything to say about the AquaDome?
I do. So the AquaDome, folks, if you aren't familiar, as Nathan said, it's in the back of the ship. Now they moved it on Icon to the front of the ship. Now, why did they do that? Well, there's many reasons. I think they also enclosed it too. But one of the reasons that they did was stability. One of the problems on the Oasis class ships is that on the Aqua Theater is that the matter of fact is that that area gets very prone to emotion, and not saying motion sickness, just motion in general, meaning that the waves oftentimes sometimes causes things to be canceled. For example, right now, I bet you there's the ships out there. Of course, there's a lot of storms out there in South Florida, just Florida in general. I'm sure they're not going to do any aqua shows this week because of the wind and the also the weather seas causing the ship to move. Now, moving to the front of the ship, they can help combat that a lot. The other thing too is they enclosed it, meaning that they're not worried about the wind and stuff like that. So it is a really, really all around good move moving to the front. The other thing too I love is that if you are familiar in the front of the ships on the Oasis Quantum class ships, it is a solarium on the beautiful icon of the seas. It is kind of like the solarium, and then they have in the middle, of course, the beautiful aqua theater, which is, I believe, is now called the Aqua Dome on the icon of the seas, which is a really smart move because you have all that area for use of in the day of relaxing. And then they also put food and beverage options too. So instead of having like the Solarium Bistro, they have I believe I'm not sure what the name is, Nathan. I'm sure you maybe know. But there's like some eateries that are for free and also some for upcharge in the Solarium, or now the Aqua Dome.
Yeah, I think it's called the AquaDome Market. And also another cool, interesting fact: there is another restaurant in the AquaDome we may not know about. It's the Coastal Kitchen. So, so the Coastal Kitchen is for the suite guests and the, I believe, Diamond and Up Pinnacle members.
Uh, no, it's Pinnacle and Up.
All right. So the restaurant basically looks into the AquaDome, so they get to enjoy a nice meal while watching an AquaDome show. So that's definitely pretty cool. And as you can see, there is the AquaDome. So anyway,
Yeah, the Aqua Dome is. I'm really looking forward. Hopefully, one day I'll get to be able to get on the icon, check it out.
So over here is Hook's Seafood. So this is also going to be in the AquaDome area. As you can see, once again, still all under construction. Also, another interesting thing, as you can see right here. So, Royal Caribbean on the the Oasis class ships has the normal style seating for the Aqua Theater. On here, it looks like it's just all bench seating except for the back row. So that's definitely going to be interesting. As you can see in the middle of the screen, that is the Coastal Kitchen. Once again, for those suite and Pinnacle and Up Crown and Anchor Society members only. Then over here on the left side of the screen is the AquaDome Market, featuring, I believe, 5 places to eat, which are all included in the price of your cruise. And on the right hand side of the screen, that is Hook's Seafood. That is the seafood restaurant, but however, that is a extra charge to eat there. So anyway, so we're going to keep moving forward. As you can see, once again, Coastal Kitchen. So, side note, this is at the front of the AquaDome. So basically, behind us is the Aqua Theater. So this is supposed to be I believe it's not adults only, if I'm not mistaken. So as you guys may know, this should be the adults only area, but however, I believe it's not. I believe anybody at any time can come into this area.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know there is an adults area, I believe, on board, but I'm not sure where. But I'm not 100% sure.
And once again, you see they're on a scissor lift. That's not a part of the ship. That is because the ship is once again in dry dock, and I believe that's not included in the cruise fare. The scissor lift. Alright, so anyway.
Yeah.
So this is the coastal kitchen once again. And also I took a look at that. Let's just say, I do like the new design of these staterooms and just the whole ship in general. Basically, they took everything that worked well on the new ships and improved it like drastically. Like as you can see, has a new fresh look.
Absolutely here. It's really beautiful.
And we're actually looking at one of the cabins here on board the Icon of the Seas right now. So as you can see, if you guys seen the interior or the rooms on Wonder of the Seas, there's not much difference. However, I will say this does have a little bit more nicer look than the newer ships like Wonder. So anyway, so we're looking down. This is
Yeah, Wonder is a very interesting cabin design. I stayed in it. It's very interesting design. Not my favorite, but yeah.
So anyway, so we are looking down at Chill Island. So this is where all the pools are going to be. Over here is going to be the swim up bar, the first at sea on Royal Caribbean. So this is what the ship looks like when you're looking down the middle of it. So this is definitely going to be a pretty nice hangout spot, especially in the warm waters of the Caribbean. So this is just more of Chill Island. Those are the ship's funnels. And we're looking down, I believe it's the port side of the ship. Alright, so over here is Surfside. So Surfside is replacing, well, not kind of replacing, but not very. It's replacing the boardwalk. So the boardwalk is a Coney Island inspired area on the Oasis class ships. This is a new this is just a new ocean themed space on board Icon. And over here is the Windjammer Marketplace, a classic Royal Caribbean favorite. So as you can see,
so like this is one of the things. So
sorry, go ahead.
now I was just mentioning here quickly about boardwalk area. As someone who sailed on the Oasis class with the boardwalk area, this is something I want to bring up here is that if you're not familiar, if you sailed on the Oasis class, you probably know this. You probably be like, okay, Tyler, I understand what you're coming from, right? Is that most of the time the boardwalk area is hardly used besides the Aqua Theater shows. Like it's hardly busy and whatever. There's occasional like few events when they have, and there's the boardwalk gets used. But other than that, it's a very underutilized area considering how much of area they have that they could put. So I'm kind of glad that on Icon with Surfside they're rebranding it, and hopefully with the whole kid theme, hopefully it works out and it's always busy. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So we are going to go back to watching the video of the Icon. So as you can see, there is actually the rock climbing wall, which actually does look significantly bigger than all the other rock climbing walls on board the other Royal Caribbean ships. So, and then over here is probably one of the most controversial parts of the ship. Is called Crown's Edge. So Crown's Edge is a ropes course where the ground drops underneath you while you're over the ocean, and then you have to glide back to safety. However, Royal Caribbean has made the decision, once again, this is kind of controversial in the cruise world right now. Royal Caribbean has made the decision to charge extra money for it. So now you're probably wondering like, oh, well, what is it, like $5, $10? $90 a person. Royal Caribbean has decided to charge for Crown's Edge. So it's definitely
Yes, very expensive.
so definitely a pretty controversial topic right there. But anyway, so we're gonna head back to the video. There we go. All right. And then over here is the basketball court, which is currently just being used as a deck chair storage. And then over there is the water park. This is the first water park really at sea, and especially for Royal Caribbean. So we'll get to that in just a few moments. So over here is Thrill Island. So as you can see, these are the water slides of Icon of the Seas. When you look at Icon of the Seas, this is probably the first thing you would notice. So it will feature 6 water slides. So it would feature 2 family raft slides, 2 racer mat slides, one drop body slide, and then this yellow one, which is just kind of just a normal body slide. So definitely really, really interesting. So Tyler, do you have anything to say about Thrill Island?
Rhode Island is absolutely amazing. It's kind of funny to watch Royal Caribbean's stance on water slides, right? Because again, prior to Harmony of the Seas, I mean, there was a small kiddie water slide on the Radiance class, but besides the Harmony of the Seas, Royal Caribbean like never put water slides. But Harmony, they said, okay, we listened to the cruisers' feedback, which was like, hey, why don't you guys have water slides on your ship? And they put water slides on board. It's still one of the biggest, complaints about the Quantum class is there's no water slides on board. So it's really great that on Icon they said, okay, we're listening to you guys, and instead of just just listening, putting like 1 or 2, they said we're putting a whole full-fledged water park. They're putting all the real water slides you'll see at home. Not like some kiddie body slides like what some other cruise lines do. You just push yourself down. No, these are legit full-fledged water slides here. They got the tube slides. They got the mat slides. The only thing that they're missing is something maybe they can add on future. I know probably not because of the water distribution, which is always a big effect. I'm sure they pretty much maxed out their water. But only thing missing on Icon is the Aqua Coaster. And that's it. And then they've pretty much got every type of water slide you could ever want. Plus, they have the flow rider to add that too. I mean, you literally have a full water park at sea. I mean, there's so much water on the Icon. Not even forget Thrill Island for a minute. You go down, you have that infinity pool, 1 deck below, and then you also, this is pretty crazy here, is you have, as you mentioned, Chill Island that has a swim up bar. I mean, again, Icon of the Seas, aka the Water of the Seas. They need change the name Royal Caribbean. It needs to be Water of the Seas because that's how much water is on the Icon of the Seas.
Yeah, so definitely pretty interesting. And also Icon of the Seas' water park is not only the biggest water park at sea, but also features the tallest water slide at sea. So it's this one right here. It's the orange one. So basically, you get into a capsule and it drops underneath you. That is 185 feet above the sea. So Icon of the Sea is definitely taking world records as well. Not only being the largest cruise ship in the world, but also having the tallest water slide at sea. So over here is the
Absolutely.
So over here is the new mini golf course. As you can see, it's not fully installed yet. Once again, as the ship is still under construction. But this is supposed to be a new style, fully interactive, fully interactive mini golf course. So if you guys have been on the other Royal Caribbean ships, you will know that the mini golf course just has just a little bit of theming, not really much at all. However, this is supposed to have a lot of theming to the mini golf course, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Royal Caribbean does this.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so let's continue on. Then as you can see over there is the basketball court, and then Thrill Island again. So over here, at the back of Thrill Island, this is supposed to be the new infinity pool. So this infinity pool is supposed to overlook the side or the aft of the ship. As you can see here, there are these 3 beds. You can actually rent these beds. You can rent them on the cruise planner. You can book them for a day at sea or port day. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Definitely a pretty nice infinity pool. Now, I do believe this is adults only. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this pool is actually adults only. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
not 100% sure either. Yeah, not 100%.
And then on top of here, you see this little curved wall. You're probably wondering what that is. Well, that is the flow rider. And as you can see, the room underneath it is all for the pumps and all that. Because the flow rider, believe it or not, takes up a lot of water and actually needs a lot of water for it to run.
I love the Flow Rider. Best thing on a Royal Caribbean ship, my opinion. The Flow Rider, love it.
So this is what the finished product is supposed to look like. As you can see, the infinity pool. Now, once again, I could be wrong, but I do believe the infinity pool is adults only. So that means for the guests 18 years of age and older. But don't mark me on that because I'm not 100% sure. Down here, you're probably wondering what this is. Well, this is the brand new Baby Bay pool at the end of I forgot it already. Seaside.
Surfside.
Surfside, sorry. Surfside. So this is what is replacing the Aqua Theater. So on any other Royal Caribbean ship that has an Aqua Theater, it would be right here. However, it's basically, honestly, just a splash delay bay, just on a lower deck. It's basically what it is, to be honest. Alright, so anyway, so we're going to keep on going in this video. And then we're going to go to Central Park. We're just kind of going to breeze through Central Park because we already covered it. However, so it features a lot more specialty restaurants and more different specialty restaurants here in Central Park. Also, another interesting thing about Azumi, Azumi does have a takeout window now. So instead of having to just sit down and eat, you can order and take your food on the go. So as you can see, they are moving the plants in place here in Cadiz. So right here is Surfside. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, those are the brand new water slides. And actually, I think that's it for the video, I believe. So anyway, guys, another area that was not covered on the video was Absolute Zero. And Tyler actually has some things to say about Absolute Zero. So if you guys don't know what it is, Absolute Zero basically it's the brand new ice skating rink on Icon of the Seas. And it's supposed to be the largest ice skating rink at sea. So anyway, so I'm going to pull up
That is right. Yep. Yeah, so fun fact, if you aren't familiar, the history of Studio B. Yeah, so the history of Studio B, folks, for the folks aren't familiar, Studio B was founded. There's an interesting story here. If you're on a Royal Caribbean ship, they do have on each of your crews, they have the history of Royal Caribbean or the Royal Caribbean story. They tell a little bit more detail here of what I'm going to tell you right here. So when they were coming up with designs for the Voyager of the Seas, the chairman, the design team, which is founded of the chairman of the Royal Caribbean board at that time, which of course Richard Fain, which for the former CEO, which that's quite the staple. He was actually kind of involved heavily here on Icon, kind of before he was kind of right at this is his last like major photos because he still has a lot of hands with the Icon of the Seas here, even though again this was his last kind of project when he was CEO, because it's been in the work for Icon of the Seas for about 6 years or so, as we know it publicly. Could have been in the works for longer than that. Anyway, here, so the fun fact here, so when they were coming up with the design for Studio B, it was originally, if you aren't familiar, on the Voyager class ships, they have what they call the Star Lounge. Now, that was originally going to be another space But they actually were originally going to use Studio B to put on shows. So Studio B's plan originally was for game shows. That was when Royal Caribbean at that time, they were coming up with the design for the beautiful Voyager of the Seas. Of course, they were working on plans at that time to come up with some game shows. One of the ideas thrown around, Richard Fain says, you know what, if we're going to do an ice skating rink, we're going to have to do it the proper way, and we're going to build a real ice. Now, again, they didn't go into the meeting thinking, okay, we're going to build an ice skating rink, or they didn't go in with building the ship like, we got to figure out how to build this ship around an ice skating rink. No, they just built an ice skating rink, and then the rest followed, which was the whole design here of the ice skating rink, and they figured out how to fit it on the ship. So it's a very interesting history here. But if you've noticed, between the Voyager, the Freedom, and the Oasis class ships, they all have the same exact design for Studio B, which again is because you can't really, it took a lot of work for them to figure out how to put an ice skating ship on the original Voyager of the Seas originally. So to change the ship's design with terms of physics, because again, this is physics involved with a ship because of the weight distribution and all this stuff and the center of gravity, right? Center of mass and all this stuff. You can't really mess it up too much here. So that's why they did not change the design between the Oasis, the Freedom, and the Voyager. It's pretty much the exact same size Studio B. So, but on Icon of the Seas Days, again, as Icon of the Seas, the whole goal was to be revolutionary here, and it was indeed revolutionary because they have Absolute Zero, which fixes a lot of problems that Studio B has. Which number one is the viewing situation. Now on Absolute Zero, every seat in the house is the best seat, is what they're going for, and this is by removing pretty much all barriers, so you can pretty much see the rank 360 versus, if you're unfamiliar, on the Voyager and the Freedom class and the Oasis as well. It's kind of like a square, like your traditional hockey rink. So again, wow, oh wow, Nathan, Absolute Zero, going to be great. There's going to be great shows there. Of course, if I'm familiar, some of the best shows on any Royal Caribbean ships, always your Aqua show and your none other than the Ice show. So I am looking forward to seeing. I believe there is two ice skating shows on the Icon of the Seas. There's your main show, which I believe is something involving the periodic table, which is an interesting theme for a show. And then another one, which is, I think, like a best of the best show, whatever. So, Nathan, I don't know about you, but I am quite excited for Absolute Zero on the Icon of the Seas.
Yeah, so Absolute Zero is definitely going to be pretty interesting, as well as brand new shows down in Absolute Zero. And actually, the interesting part is, as Tyler said, so Studio B is in like a square part. Absolute Zero is a full 360 degree rink. So imagine basically you take a square and you turn it into a circle. So, and it's at the back of the ship as well, so opposed to being in the center. So anyway, so that's basically about it. That's all we have for this stream. So anyway, so we're going to start slowing down the stream here in a few minutes. If you guys have any questions, if you're watching us live, please do not hesitate to ask us a question, and we'll answer as best as we can. And if you guys are watching this,
and if you're watching the, I was going to say, if you're watching the replay, leave it in the comments below too, and Nathan and I will be watching the comments, and we'll answer any questions you have if those pop up. Correct, Nathan?
Yes, so anyway, guys, so once again, this is Tyler from the Tyler Show from the Cruise Junkie. So if you guys, once again, he is the Port Canaveral expert. If you want to know anything about Port Canaveral, this is your go-to guy. Also, another interesting fact, he covers more in depth into the interesting side of cruising. The side of cruising most people don't really notice is the pilots. So anyway, Tyler, if you don't mind,
Yes.
Can you tell us what the pilots are?
Yeah, so every ship, including Icon of the Seas, in most ports require a harbor pilot. Harbor pilots are crucial. They know the ports like the back of their hand. They eat, sleep, and breathe each port, while cruise ship captains navigate from port to port, and they're really much stuck on the ship. That's the only thing changes. While harbor pilots are stuck at a port, and they go ship to ship, bringing them in and out of ports. While most cruise ship captains aren't comfortable with close proximity to other vessels, harbor pilots are very comfortable. Icon of the Seas will be using one every time they're in Miami, as well as other ports. Now, Coco Cay does not use one, but most other major ports, such as Cozumel, which the Icon, I believe, will be going to, as well as St. Thomas and other ports, will require a harbor pilot to come on board. They know the port like no other. And on my channel, The Tyler Show, I try to show that side of piloting, which, of course, is part of the marine industry, which no one sees really on cruises. Or when they do see it, I've heard many cruises, they don't know what they actually do. People think that the pilot is the captain. He drives the ship. No, the pilot's basically your local tour guide. He knows everything. He knows X, Y, and Z about the local area. He is your expert and your personal expert when you're the captain. He's your advisor, to put it that way. So I show you that on my channel. I have a few more interesting trips planned with pilots in the following year. So make sure you stay tuned to my channel. A lot coming in the new year here. Of course, hopefully able to get on Icon or Star of the Seas. Of course, Star of the Seas, as Nathan said, Port Canaveral. Well, the Star of the Seas is coming here, so make sure you stay tuned to this channel for all updates regarding that ship. That is here on Best of Both Worlds, as well as my channel, The Tyler Show, and The Cruise Junkie, and all other platforms. Nathan, once again, buddy, it was a pleasure being on your show, and thank you for having me on this Friday, the December 15th, as we get closer here to Christmas. It was a pleasure, my friend.
It was a pleasure too. So anyway, once again, before we go, countdown to Icon: 42 days, 21 hours, 54 minutes, and 35 seconds until Icon of the Sea sets sails on Saturday, January 27th from Miami, Florida. So you definitely do not want to miss it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell icon for more Icon of the Seas content. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And as we always say, until next time,